So solution to contest number 90. So let's take a look. The Germans have to take building R6. So they have a number of units at their disposal, 9-2 with, so there's 3 half squads, a crew, Panzer III, a 9-2, 2 demolition charges, a flamethrower. Okay, so one of the problems with controlling the building is it's a row house, and the British can route upstairs. So right away we know we have, the big challenge will be to prevent the British from routing upstairs. So the only solution I can find to that, other than killing everybody in the hex, which is unlikely because they would have to fail 3 morale checks. We're gonna attack them 3 separate times in the advanced fire phase, but still the chance that every unit fails 3 times is low. So what we're going to do is we're going to go upstairs and create a breach. Now, just to talk about the tank for a second, I got a lot of responses where the tank is backing up, placing smoke, smoke dispenser, firing at these guys firing back, and the reason why I think that that's a terrible idea is one, they have a Piat. I deliberately gave the British a Piat, which doesn't suffer backblast. If the tank gets into bypass, manages to get into bypass, there's one of 3 things that'll happen. One, the tank will get destroyed. Now, the problem with the tank getting destroyed is that opens up the British to route in this direction. So that would be horrible for the Germans. The other thing is there's a burning wreck in the hex, and that would be terrible because then that would be a +2 modifier on the flamethrower shot in the advanced fire phase. So that's terrible. And the other thing that could happen is the tank is in bypass, does not get destroyed, and then when the Germans advance in close combat, the British will have a -3 on their dice, or -1 on their dice, but the Germans will have negated the -2 of the German leader because there'll be a tank in the hex, and the British will get to go first in close combat. So moving him into bypass, I think, is a terrible idea. So what we're going to do is this. We have to get a demolition charge upstairs to create a breach. We have to create a breach downstairs for the flamethrower shot. So how we're going to play this is we can place either demolition charge upstairs, but if we place this one upstairs for the half squad to come back downstairs, he'd be CX, because it would be 1, 2, 3 to go upstairs, 4 to place the DC, 5 to come back downstairs, and now he's all but useless in close combat. So we're going to do it with this group right here with the 9-2. So no prep fire, obviously, so we go on to movement. So we're going to go this way. We don't want to go here because that'll give us a shot and everybody will die. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3 into the building. Because of the row house, the British cannot shoot. Then they're going to go upstairs for 4, place the DC for 5, and then come back downstairs for 6. All right, so only the demolition charge is upstairs. Trying to create a breach. All right, now this guy right here will go in and he will go 1, 2, and place his demolition charge to create a breach here on the ground floor. All right, now we have the flamethrower half squad, then he will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this half squad will CX, and he is the all-important game-winning half squad, crew, I mean. He will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the building, and 6 upstairs to prevent the British from routing upstairs. Okay, now we go to defensive fire phase. Like I said, the tank is not doing anything. The tank could abandon the tank, and then he could lend his hand in close combat. So we could try that. The danger with that is if they abandon the tank and come into close combat, and if the British win the ambush roll, the British could withdraw into the tank's hex and win the game for still controlling. So I prefer just to leave the vehicle occupied, or if you want, you could take out the crew and then just leave them there. But I think somebody really has to be in R4 in case the British do win the ambush. Okay, so defensive fire. There's no defensive fire because the British can't see anybody because of the row houses. And so then we go to the advanced fire phase, and let's see what would happen. Okay, so we are going to, first thing, upstairs. Upstairs, we are going to need to create a breach, so we need a normal morale check, and we roll a 9. So that is exactly what we needed to create a normal morale check. So a breach does occur. I'm not going to mark it because I don't remember where my breach counters are right now, but we do have a breach upstairs. Good. Next, we're going to create a breach downstairs. Try to create a breach downstairs, and we roll, and we roll an 8. So that will be a 1 morale check. That will create a breach. So that's a 1 morale check. 30 plus 3 is 11. So now, I believe that same roll is also a 15 plus 3. So it'll be a 12 plus 3, so that's an 11, so that's no effect on these guys. So now we have the flamethrower, which can attack with a 24 flat, and they roll a 7. So a 24 with a 7, looking on our brand new rat charts, a 24 with a 7 is a 3 check. So now what's all important here is that we at least pin that leader. If that leader does not pin, the Germans have lost the game. Pin or break, the Germans have lost the game, because the leader will be able to route upstairs unbroken with whatever is broken, including voluntary breaks. And even though whatever's routing upstairs will die for failure to route because of the 127, the leader being unbroken will not. So here goes the leader, and he has got a 3 check on him, and he rolls a 6, 7, 8, 9 for the pin. Well, that's good enough. And then the squads roll a 5, 6, 7, 8 for the break, and the next squad rolls a 4, 5, 6, 7 for the pin. Okay, we've got the leader and one of the squads who is pinned, and we've got one of the squads who is broken. Now our last attack is 2 half squads. The half squad with the flamethrower cannot fire because he uses a support weapon. So it'll be a 6 plus 3 for the building, down 2 for the leadership. So it'll be a 6 plus 1. Need a big roll, and we get a big roll. It is a 7. So that 6 plus 1 makes a 7. So that is a normal morale check. So first the leader. The leader rolls a 6, he's fine. And then the broken squad rolls an 11. He is now a half squad, does not matter. He'll die anyway for failure to route. And then the pinned squad rolls a 9, which becomes a 10, which breaks. So, and that will all but ensure a German victory. And of course, it could have turned out differently on those rolls. The big rolls, of course, were the morale checks on the leader to make sure he at least pinned, and the breach upstairs. Those were the huge rolls. So now that that's done, we move to the route phase. Both squads are eliminated for failure to route. They have to route upstairs. They do not know there is that crew upstairs, so they go upstairs. And once they get upstairs, they see the crew and they die for failure to route. And they, of course, drop the machine guns downstairs, not that matters, take the Piat upstairs with them, and then it falls to the floor as they are eliminated, and get rid of that. All right, now all we have left is 1 pinned leader downstairs. Go to the advance phase, and everybody goes in. For the close combat, we roll ambush. Oh, now, normally I might have left a guy behind. That's gone as well. I might have left a guy behind in case the British won the ambush. They would be able to withdraw to R6 and win the game. So these guys, the crew would have also gone in to R7 upstairs. Oops. So nobody, oh, that's a mess. Nobody could have, let's just place them in here. Should have done that to begin with. Nobody could have withdrawn upstairs. So then we have our close combat. We have our ambush. Blue will be German. 6 to 4, there is no ambush because the German becomes essentially a 4 and the British becomes a 5. And then we have close combat, which is a 10 to 1 minus 2. So they do take out the British, and then the British get to attack back, assuming that they take out all the Germans. They don't, but assuming they did take out all the Germans, we still have the crew upstairs for the win. Some infantry, lone infantry in the building. And that's how we play it. That's the best solution I could come up with. Thanks for playing, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.